I'm excited. Oh, I forgot it goes right into it. See, now this still says fueled by ramen, but I haven't seen any like advertisement or anything from them. I don't know. I really like this intro. And Taylor's playing kind of reminds me of like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like a John Frusciante kind of strong. I love that line. I like how that's the first line of the new era. And then my favorite part, the chorus. I think Hayley Williams' solo record era really got her back into just grooving and dancing. I know she did it in the Hard Times music videos, but like, I don't think I've ever seen this much just like from her in a while, really, if we're being honest here. It's good to see the same people coming back too from one album cycle to another. Never seen that from them up until now, so it's not like we're being introduced to new people. And of course, orange-haired Hayley's back too. I also find it funny the shots of just her dancing, and then there's just Taylor and Zach sitting there like, do we get to do anything? Oh, she's going full Joker. Just the friggin', she might as well just complete the smile. There she goes, she's completing the smile, yep. They're setting it up for the next music video to take place right after this. This is what Hayley did with her first solo record. You remember the first like 3 music videos all corresponded off of each other. That's actually really scary. This is like an A24 horror movie right there. That's like she's lost it. She's about to go kill some people and all that kind of stuff you do in horror movies. That was it. Well, let's go back to the normal setup and talk about this, shall we? So, if you're wondering where the wig is, you saw it already, and I'm only going to do it for the album review, so February 10th of 2023, mark your calendars, because the wig will be there. But I figured for this track review, I just kind of, do what I usually do in track reviews. Tell you how I think about it, what I heard, and whether I liked it or not. And to be honest with you, it's a weird song for me because I like it, but there's a couple of things that stood out right away that it got in the way of me starting out with enjoyment listening to it. I don't know why, and I'm not taking this as they're copying anybody or this, that, and the other, but it gave me like this past Panic at the Disco's album vibes. Like, it definitely sounded like a song off of Viva Las Vengeance that wasn't used, so they gave it to Hayley to sing because, well, I mean, you take Brendan Urie, Hayley Williams are 2 great singers, so let's just give it to another great singer to sing and whatnot. And granted, I think Viva Las Vengeance, the album in itself, is a lot of fun. Most people would disagree with me on that. So I had no problem with that necessarily, but I'm just sitting there going, it's something that I've heard before. And then there's the other thing that when I was doing the reaction over there, that I didn't want to say right then and there because it wouldn't have gave me time to explain myself. But before it gets to the chorus, a lot of this definitely sounds like Hayley's first solo single, Simmer. Just the way the verses kind of flowed, and it just, like, you can put that side by side with Simmer and they'd be utterly similar. It's just kind of like same attitude, same kind of, tone, everything. It has it there, and then the similarities with that song. Whereas once the chorus kicks in, it's a completely different entity. I mean, I thought After Laughter had catchy choruses. Jesus Christ, man. This is only single 1 off of this new album, and the chorus is just embedded in my head. I really like it. I really like the part where it's like, this is why I don't leave the house, because they're basically, I guess, answering the question as to when people are like, why haven't you done this? Why don't you do this? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And they're basically saying, you want to know why? This is why. Because since Paramore's been gone, I mean, geez, we've had change in presidents. We had an insurrection at the Capitol building. We had COVID that we dealt with for a long time and we're still kind of dealing with now. A lot of tragedies have just happened and all this kind of stuff, and I think they're kind of letting it all out and trying to be a little bit more skeptical, and, or not skeptical, pessimistic on this record than they were in After Laughter, when they were just like, man, I'm sad, I wish I was dead, all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, it seems like they're sticking with the similar theme of let's make the music sound happy, but this time the lyrics are going to match it in a way. Like, the music video in itself really gave you the tone of, this is going to be fun, but we're also going to have this kind of, like, darker element. What that part in the music video where Hayley's just smothering the makeup all over herself, and then at the end she's in the mirror and she's just looking just dead eyes into the mirror with the like I said, all the lipstick and the makeup, looking like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. It reminded me a lot of like some of these recent horror movies that I've seen with Mia Goth, what's it, Pearl and X, where it's just like you can tell that she's snapped, she's done, and now this is when it's going to all be let out. And I think of the upcoming singles, the music videos that will accompany them will kind of be a continuation as to what we saw here with the music video for this. So yeah, as for them returning to the rock sound, I mean, they did. I still hear the funky similarity that it had with After Laughter, but you take away the synths and you add guitar and drums, which is something that After Laughter had, but it wasn't necessarily the main lead, then, you know, you're really getting into territory of, holy shit, this is different, you know. And because I remember the way Hard Times started with all those instruments and the piano chords and stuff like that, it just kind of catches you off guard. But here they get you right away with the strings and the drums, and they're basically just kind of telling you, hey, the guitars and drums are going to be what lead these songs here. We are back to doing this. We are going to have a full album where these are the instruments that are going to lead us through these songs. And plus, whoever plays bass on this song and even on the record, kudos to you, because After Laughter's bass was stellar, and that was Justin Meldal Johnson, the album producer, who played the bass on that record. On this, it's Carlos de la Graza who is the producer, but I'm not sure if he's playing the instruments or what, so I have to look it up. But whoever played bass on this song, they definitely did a good job because it was visible, and I don't know, I really, really like what Paramore does with their bass licks, which makes me just, basically wants me to tell them at this point, just get another fucking bassist. Like, I know you had one, Jeremy Davis was there for a long time, but like, I feel like you can do a lot more if you had a bassist in the band, not just touring with you and in the studio and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, again, I said it in the reaction, I'm kind of happy that we're finally going into a Paramore era where it was the same people from the era before. This is the first time that's happened with them as a band, where they're going from album to album without any major changes in the lineup, with adding anybody or, you know, somebody leaving or this, that, and the other. It feels refreshing to know that it's the same three fresh creative faces from the previous record that are adding on to what they did and putting something new to it. Like, it makes you feel a little bit more confident as to what you might expect or what you want to get out of them. So, overall, this song is good. I think we overhyped the thing. Not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I'm not saying like, oh my god, this song blows me away, and it's like a top 10 Paramore song already. I'm not going to say that yet. We'll see how the song ages out for me over the years. But for what it is, first single, nice little comeback single here, has people excited. And with it being the title track of the upcoming album, I feel like it definitely shows you what the theme of this album is going to entail and what the aesthetic of it is going to be. So I think it was the right thing to do, considering they said this was the last song they wrote for this record. So it's the one that has basically been out in the open the least. Like, they've had songs that they've been working on for a while, and even those, they were like, I don't know if those are first single worthy. Why don't we try the one we just wrote, because that seems to be the strongest. Because if you realize, this is not the song from the snippets. I don't know what song that's from. I guess we'll find out in the upcoming months, whether it's on a single or maybe they just wanted to share some taste of the record. But yeah, what we heard in the snippets was not even in this song. This one was more faster paced, upbeat, had more of a tempo, whereas that snippet, or the snippets I should say, was like 2 or 3 different snippets. They sounded different, a little bit, you know, I mean, they were still fast, but slower in a kind of way, and Hayley's vocals were more like she was like yelling, screaming kind of, where in this one she was singing and she had the melodic stuff going on the chorus and all that stuff. So hopefully we'll see what that's about, because that snippet had me interested as to what that could be. But this song, I'll take this song. Definitely a banger. Would recommend you go and listen. And for those who have listened, I would really like to hear your opinions in the comments below. What is your take on this song? How do you feel this album's going to turn out? I mean, keep in mind, this will come by the time the album comes out next year. It'll be the first time in 6 years since they've even had a record out. So it's going to be something that people are going to be raving about. I mean, considering even after they announced their hiatus and Hayley Williams announced a solo album, people were like, okay, but does that mean new Paramore's coming quick? Like, we were getting antsy, and now the antsiness is basically over. We got a release date for the album, we got this new single, and we got a couple of new dates on the website. I think it says 10/2, October 2nd, Leave the House, which a lot of people think is another single. They're not going to do that quick. That's when their tour starts. And then on November 3rd, they had, I think it said Tonight, and I believe that could be the second single right there. I mean, it's a little bit under 2 months after this single came out, and a lot of the time artists will do that where, you know, within a month or two of each other they might release, you know, singles. And with their album coming out in February, if they release a single every 2 months, that's 3 singles before this record comes out. I think that's the perfect amount to have before you put the record out. But again, we'll have to wait and see there. They'll probably keep us on our heels with these dates that they keep doing on their website, so we'll have to just keep an eye on those, and we'll get hints to when whatever is coming. But yeah, that's it for me. Until then, we made it, guys. We made it. I don't know why. I'm just a lot happier now that Paramore's back. But yeah, stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated. Be kind to each other. And I will catch you all in the next one.